Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Erica, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a great weekend. It's MLK birthday or MLK weekend, and it was also my birthday. So I had a wonderful weekend, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend as well. Before I get started, I hope the lighting and everything is good. Again, I think I said on my first video a couple of weeks ago that I'm really trying this YouTube thing, and I'm trying to get things right. So right now, I am recording in my office. I don't know if the lighting is good. I sort of zoomed in because I wanted you to see my face. I was told that I was sitting back too far. So I'm just trying things out, and I want to get it right so that you guys can enjoy my videos and even feel like you're having, a conversation with me. I really want you to do that. So I hope that everything is okay. Like I said, it's a trial and error. I'm getting there, but I will definitely get on track. Before I get to the review of Married to Medicine, I would like to say that I would like to honor the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Basically, we like to say this: he walked so that we could run. And if it weren't for his dream, we wouldn't have a dream. So I would love to just say happy birthday, happy heavenly birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King. We remember you, we celebrate you, and a life well lived. So we're going to go on, and now we're going to talk about Married to Medicine, to all the doctors who were able to live their dream because of Dr. Martin Luther King. So this episode was called Baby Birkin. This is episode 8, and it appears that Married to Medicine, their season is probably just about over. They normally do about 12 regular episodes, and then they may have 2 or 3 parts. Well, about 3 parts of the reunion. So I would say that their season is probably just about over because, and we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, the episode starts off with Toya, Dr. Eugene, and Ashton in the kitchen. Shout out to Dr. Eugene. I always like to say that because Dr. Eugene is a fellow Washingtonian, and he's also a fellow Bison. And I like to say that because I'm from Washington, D.C., and I also went to Howard University. So I love to just shout out Dr. Eugene at all times. And of course, I want to shout him out because, look, our Commanders, they beat the Detroit Lions in the football game. And I'm telling you, the city is on fire right now. Like, we're ready to go to the Super Bowl, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. So Toya goes on in the scene, and she's actually discussing that. She says, she wants to have something light. She wants the girls to lighten up. So she wants to throw a baby shower. Dr. Eugene is like, what? A baby shower? What are you talking about? Well, Toya's idea of a baby shower is actually revealing her new Birkin bag. Yeah. A Birkin bag. Toya has a new Hermes Birkin bag. We know all about the Birkins and how nice these bags are and how expensive they are. As a matter of fact, Toya's son told her that the bag has actually become her identity. Her son told her that. Yes, Ashton said that. But anyway, we know that Toya is superficial, so we don't even have to really get into that. Toya has always been that way since day one. If you've been watching the show for a while, or you've been watching from the beginning, you know that Toya is superficial. She's caught up in labels, all of those things, but that's who she is. It's Toya, so you don't even really expect anything else, and you're not even angry about it. But Toya wants to reveal Stormy, which is her Birkin bag, and of course, she was sort of teasing Ashton and saying that he could actually make some food, some of his burgers, and he was saying, well, how much are you going to pay me? Because if you're paying $32,000 for a bag, you can certainly pay me to be your chef for the day. So it was a cute little scene. Like I said, I love their family scenes. I love all of those things. Just to see them. It's always good when you see the kids growing up and then you see them interacting a little bit. And I do honestly like Toya and Eugene. They've given us a lot over the years. So I do like them. So the scene, like I said, it moves pretty fast. I like when Married to Medicine has something going on. Oftentimes a lot of people are saying they don't like the season. I actually like the season. I really don't know what else people expect from them because they've been pretty consistent. I think what the missing component is, they do need to add a couple of new doctors so that we can get some new stories. I do think they need to do that. They definitely need to do that. But I like the show overall, and I like when they have events because it keeps the show moving. It keeps the episodes moving. So we go on, and Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly is at Dr. Jackie's house, which I like because Dr. Jackie normally doesn't film a lot at her house. We normally see her at her office, but she was at home, and then they're waiting on Quad and Dr. Simone to show up. Well, Quad finally shows up, so they start discussing the Met Gala. Well, Dr. Jackie is just telling them, hey, we're running a little short. They actually made $54,993.30. Jackie is still upset because she's saying, okay, we have to make good on our promise because the goal was $100,000. This check has to clear. We have to make sure that we zero everything out. We dot every I, we cross every T. And I understand exactly where Dr. Jackie is coming from because, when you're making that kind of commitment, you want to make good on your commitment. I don't think you don't have to be rich or you don't have to be wealthy to make good on your commitment. If you say you're going to do something, then you should do it. And so Jackie was talking to them about it. So Quad, she was kind of like the designated treasurer, and she came up with the numbers, and she said that Phaedra owed $51,169.70. Well, Phaedra says she's good for it, so she should go ahead and write that check. But anyway, there was also a little discrepancy where the man who paid $4,000 to have or to go out on a date with Phaedra, he called and said he wanted his money back. He wanted a refund. We don't know why he wanted a refund. We don't know if Phaedra maybe said she just wasn't going to go on the date, or we don't know if he just wanted to be on television and he said that just to get, his little 5 seconds of fame. We really don't know, but he did want the refund. So they wanted to make sure that he got his money back, which means they had to take away from what they made. So like I said, Dr. Jackie was kind of concerned about that. Well, in comes Dr. Simone. And so she sort of gets in on the action as they're kind of joking around about Phaedra. So she tells them for them to, do a little role playing, and she acts like she's Phaedra on the phone. And so she's saying, oh, child, I'm busy. I'm out here in LA. I'm doing this. I'm going to an award show. I'm, child, everybody wants me. I'm high in demand, honey. I'm at the top of the list. Everybody wants a piece of Phaedra Parks. Here I am. It's ABC, NBC, Bravo. Look. Name all the networks, whomever, you name it. If it's ESPN, CNN, you name it, Phaedra Parks is on the list. And so they were all kind of joking around about that. And of course, Simone has a really great sense of humor. So she was like the perfect person to kind of like carry that off. So that's how that scene ended. But it was cute nonetheless, just to see the four OGs, sitting around and talking and joking around. I'd rather for them to do that sometimes than for them to be fighting. So that was a cute little scene. So anyway, we move on. Dr. G and Sweet Tea are hosting like a dinner party for the couples. And of course, Dr. Simone and Cecil come. Dr. Mimi and her husband, Stephen, come. And Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott also are joining everyone. So it's like a cute little scene, of the couples. And they kind of introduce, Dr. Mimi. Of course, she's another psychiatrist. So Dr. G is saying, Dr. Mimi, hey, I want you in this group because no one listens to me. So Dr. Mimi's sort of talking, and they're kind of joking around how Stephen got in on the auction at the Met Gala. And then they just having random conversation. And at some point, Simone, starts talking about marriage and, those little things. And then they get into how Dr. Mimi actually met Stephen. So they tell a little bit of their story, a little backdrop of their story. And, Dr. Simone says, hey, marriage is tough. If it weren't for this group, Cecil and I probably still wouldn't be married. And I thought that was very key in just letting her know that marriage is the foundation, not just for, them as couples, but then also for the show because it is based around married couples. Although Quad isn't married, she's still a part of the show, but Simone was just saying sort of that's like the foundation of their friendship. Everyone is pretty much married. And Dr. Mimi seems like she will fit in pretty well. She's not afraid to get in there. She's not afraid to throw a jab. She's not afraid to be vocal and give her opinion. She says she's going to watch. She's going to listen and see what people are saying. But Dr. Mimi is also, she said, I'm not going to judge. Dr. Mimi will judge because you know why? Number one, she's a psychiatrist. And not only that, Dr. Mimi is just not a quiet person by nature. She's going to judge and she's going to get in there. Now, she won't dive all the way in, but she will definitely be standing in that pool. So I'm looking forward to seeing, what she's going to bring to the table. Because my Dr. Mimi, I got a feeling Dr. Mimi can be very, very, very feisty. So we will see. So anyway, Dr. Simone mentions that, well, first, Sweet Tea, tells everyone, and I need to just say T. T is going to have like a little mixer or a little speed dating event, and she's inviting all of the ladies. And so Simone says, well, is Dr. Heavenly invited? And she's like, no, she's not. Why would I invite her to my event? And so Dr. Simone is kind of questioning T as to why she's like not, wanting to make up with Heavenly. Now, Dr. Simone is one of my favorites. She always has been from day one. If you watch my first video, I told you Dr. Simone is my girl. But Dr. Simone is being a little messy and I don't like it. And let me tell you why. And I'm going to have an opposing opinion probably from some people. And I say that because people have their favorites and stuff like that. But I just tend to look at things from a different angle for whatever reason. Dr. Simone, you've had issues with Heavenly in the past. We saw you when Dr. Heavenly kind of mentioned that Cecil didn't have a job and she was all on her YouTube channel talking about Cecil. You didn't get over that quickly at all. When you and Dr. Jackie had an issue, you were holding a grudge. And you didn't get over that quickly at all. Dr. Heavenly called Sweet Tea's husband, Dr. G, a pedophile. She's not expected to get over that. On top of the fact, T and Heavenly have constantly butted heads. Constantly. And this is where I have the opposing opinion. Just like Dr. Contessa said, they let Dr. Heavenly off the hook all the time. But I told you in my last review of the show, they let Dr. Heavenly off because if it's a newbie or if it's somebody that they want her to go after, they allow her to do it. As long as she's not coming after them, they're okay. And to even take it a step further, and let's just be real, we've all gone through things in our life. And so I always look at things like how I would see it in my normal life. Sweet Tea is a millennial. She's younger than the rest of the ladies. We all know. There are times I've experienced it on my job. And, just in life, people experience that. Older people tend to want the respect from younger people that they don't give them. And Sweet Tea is a person, she speaks her mind. T is not going to back down. She's a part of the show. She has a right to be who she is. But you cannot demand respect from T. I don't care anything about this OG and this newbie thing. You cannot talk to people crazy and expect for them not to say anything. Heavenly and the rest of the ladies want T to have such an admiration and a respect for them, but they don't want to give her that in return. And that is a problem. I'm not saying that Sweet Tea hasn't made some mistakes along the way in some things of not really communicating properly. I'm not saying that because I feel like Sweet Tea could have communicated a lot better than she has. But I will say that Simone is asking something of Sweet Tea that she will not require of Heavenly. And that is a problem with me, Dr. Simone. You cannot ask her to do that. But anyway, Simone even goes on to say that they're going to plan a trip and they're going to go, the couples trip, and they're going to go to Key West. And she says, well, Dr. Heavenly's going to plan the trip with me and I'm going to get her to do this because she needs to soften up to the ladies. Soften up to the ladies? I want to knock on it. Dr. Simone, soften up to who and to what? Only thing you're doing is giving Dr. Heavenly time to conjure up something, to conjure up a scheme that Todd set up to put these girls in a predicament where they will not be able to respond to her. Heavenly is a thinker. Heavenly is all about this show. And she's always thinking of a way to make a great scene, to create drama. The only thing you have done, Simone, is given Heavenly a pass to show her you know what. That is exactly what she's going to do. And we saw from the previews that it ain't going to go well on this trip. So you asking Heavenly to help you do anything, Simone? Bad move. So now, Simone, I got to look at you as to why you're doing that. Why are you including Heavenly in the planning? You and Cecil plan great trips. We know now, production is really the one that plans these trips. But Dr. Simone and Cecil are great hosts for any event, for anything. I don't even care if they're just having pizza and wings at their house. They are great hosts for anything. But Dr. Simone, you're giving Heavenly a chance to conjure up something, to make a whole plan, to have a whole itinerary of how she's going to blow everybody's head off on this trip in Key West. So, Simone, I wasn't feeling you on that. But anyway, we're going to move on. So anyway, we move on and we move on to Sweet Tea's event. So Sweet Tea has like the little mixer. It's a cute little event, it has a little vibe to it, for, the younger women. It's for younger women and older men. And that's what I forgot to leave out. When they went out to dinner, T did explain to them that that's what she was trying to do. She said she is trying to launch something that will help, women who who want to date or marry older men. She's trying to launch something with that. And she did explain that. She explained that very well at the dinner. I left that part out, but she did. So then we come to her event, to the mixer, and it's a really cute event. Actually, Sweet Tea looks really, really cute. I know a lot of people like to clown her and all of that stuff. Well, listen, like I said, all of these ladies have looked rough. Now, they're starting to pull it together now because those checks are looking good. Their bodies are right and all that. But trust and believe, T will, if she stays on the show, she will pull it together. But Sweet Tea looked really, really cute. And so the ladies start arriving. Of course, Contessa arrives, Mimi, and Toya. And they were saying, hey, we're willing to help. We're married, but we're willing to help. We know what you're doing. We're going to help. And so, they start and then Phaedra comes. And so they start I don't know if they had a few minutes to actually talk and kind of meet people or whatever. So they sit down. So the men and women are talking. So the older men come in, the women, we're introduced to the women, and then the older men come in. And so we see that they're going to sit down and just kind of do the introductions and stuff like that. It seemed to have been going well. There was a really cute one with Phaedra and this guy. He was from Africa, West Africa. And I think his name was Cheek. Or Czech. He was really young. But, of course, Phaedra has that young, youthful, fun energy, and he liked it, and I think that, they were probably, even if it's just for TV, they were going to have some fun with it. I think he fit in perfectly just even for that scene. Some of the other men that were there, they seem to have been trying too hard. It's like they knew they were on TV and there was nothing attractive about those men. Nothing. I don't know what any of those young girls would see in them because there was nothing there. It's like one guy was dumping money on he was dumping money on the table in front of Phaedra. I'm like, that's not attractive. No one does that, but that's what I'm saying. I think oftentimes, and that age gap thing, I have never really dated anyone that much older than me. I'm always in my age range, but I do know that there are some people who may tend to to date someone older or whatever the case may be. And I guess if it works, hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm not knocking it, but that's not my thing, because I do realize, I think at some point the age gap will become an issue in the relationship. Not for everyone. I know, back in the day, we can say in the 40s and 50s, hey, it was understood that if an older man married a young woman, that they would come together and just basically get married, and her role would be to cook, clean, and have children and take care of the kids. Well, now, in 2025, it's totally different. Women are making a lot of money. They make more money than men. They're doing their own thing. They're doing big things. And so it's a little different. So when you have that age gap, it's like maybe the man still has like an old-fashioned view of what he wants the woman to do, and women have sort of evolved from that. Now, if it works for I'm not saying that it doesn't work for every relationship, but I'm sure in some relationships or marriages at some point that age gap will, cause them to butt heads, or it will become an issue. But anyway, whatever floats your boat. I thought it was a cute event. I thought, because Sweet Tea she says she's 23 years younger than Dr. G. So for her, hosting the event, it made perfect sense. Well, anyway, Dr. Simone comes up, and of course she's hugging everyone, and then Heavenly comes in. What is Heavenly doing there? We know that production told Heavenly to come. Simone says she invited Heavenly. Heavenly does not like T. T does not like Heavenly. The same way that Dr. G and T didn't come to Heavenly's son's graduation party is the same way that Heavenly didn't have to come to this mixer. She didn't have to come. But of course she's there. Heavenly walks around with a chip on her shoulder, period. Heavenly knows that she is like the fan favorite, so she has to come in and create a scene. Dr. Simone was trying to act innocent about it, but no. We know what this is. And then she, like I said, she's expecting for Sweet Tea. Well, she has to be the bigger person. No, she does not. No, she doesn't. No, and no again, Dr. Simone. No, she doesn't have to be the bigger person. I don't know what they're expecting from T. She does not have to do that. Again, this woman called her husband the P word. Has T said stuff? Yes, absolutely. But Heavenly, like I said, likes to go there. She likes to assault people. I'm talking about verbal assaults. And honey, they are endless. They are limitless, honey. Heavenly doesn't stop until she basically wears you down to nothing. So T does not owe her anything. So for Heavenly to be there, okay, all well and fine. So, and I don't like them trying to push them together. Like, let it happen naturally. If it's meant for them to talk or whatever, it'll happen. But they're not going to be friends. Heavenly doesn't like her. Heavenly will pretend that she's making up with her, but she doesn't respect her. And when a person doesn't respect you, you're never going to move or go anywhere with them. So stop pushing that. But anyway, and Heavenly's kind of socially awkward. When she can't be the center of attention to me, she's socially awkward. She was kind of awkward around contestants. She was awkward at first. And then even Dr. Mimi had to tell her, like, Heavenly was like, I don't think about that girl. It's not that serious to me. And like Mimi said, Dr. Mimi, a psychiatrist, said, it's not anything to you, but it's something to her. And that's what Heavenly has to realize. That is something to other people when you talk about them, when you do those things. But Dr. Heavenly ain't about growing. Only thing Dr. Heavenly wants to do is create drama and make good television and keep getting those $1 million checks from Married to Medicine. She ain't worried about nobody's feelings, how they act, who they are, none of that. Just give me my check and let me act a fool and continue to build my fan base. That's all Heavenly's worried about. But anyway, so we go on, and now we go to Toya's little event. Everybody's coming to, I guess, the main event. And it's for Toya's Birkin bag. Okay. So everybody arrives at different times. Dr. Simone and Contessa come together. Quad and Heavenly come together. And Dr. Mimi and Sweet Tea come together. Phaedra didn't come, and Dr. Jackie couldn't make it. So, of course, they're wondering what's going on. They're all speculating, okay, it's not a puppy. Toya's definitely not pregnant. What's going on? Well, Toya has the big reveal. And she reveals her bag. And all of the ladies are like, disgusted. They're looking at her like, what is going on? Like, they're flabbergasted. They're confused as to why they would have a party for something so superficial. These ladies are doctors. These ladies have important jobs, and we're here celebrating the fact that Toya bought a Hermes Birkin bag. Like, they just went along with it. But again, it's lighthearted. It's Toya. It's who she is. So they just kind of go with the flow. You know, of course, she bought them little gifts. And Toya was saying that she wanted to just do something fun and light because the girls really don't get along. And she wanted them to kind of like lighten the mood. I think Toya feels like this group is in a bad place. And so I have to do something that's not a little something out of the ordinary, just to kind of bring the girls back together and allow them to have fun. I know they talked about Toya like a dog once they left, but it seemed to have worked. They were laughing. They didn't really have any serious conversation. I know T and Heavenly said that they had met up, and Heavenly mentioned that she apologized to Dr. G, and she apologized to Sweet T in that moment, only for that moment, because we know Heavenly didn't mean it, but she apologized to them in that moment. So it just made everything light and fun and airy, and that's what Toya wanted. Love and light, that's what Toya wanted, so she got it. And let me just say this. I kind of feel like Toya and Simone are friends, because I know Dr. Eugene and Cecil are the best of friends. But I got a feeling, I have a funny feeling, that Toya and Dr. Simone are getting ready to butt heads, because I feel like Toya does not understand why, again, Simone is giving Dr. Heavenly a pass. But we'll see. Just note that I said it. But I think they're getting ready to butt heads. I don't know if it'll be in season 12. It's going to be something that comes up with their friendship where they're not really seeing eye to eye. I see it coming. But anyway, that was it for the review. It looks like they're getting ready to go to Key West. We love their couples trip. So that's where they're going to next week. They will start the beginning of their trip. So it should be a good one. It should be a fun one. You know, I always love like when they go on their trips. They seem to have a really, really good time. We can expect some surprises, because I think Apollo and his wife are going to show up, and that's when we're going to see the fight between King and Dr. G. So stay tuned. Anyway, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you, I know, I just hope that you don't mind doing that. Can you just do that for me? It was my birthday. Can you at least just give me a birthday gift and like the video and subscribe to my channel? Leave me a comment. Say, hey girl, I heard your video, whether you agree or not, because we're not going to always see eye to eye, but I like to interact with people. That's why I'm doing it. I love doing this, and I would love to just say hello to some of you if you see the video. But even if you don't, thank you so much for just tuning in. Like I said, I've been recording now for the past couple of weeks. It's something that I chose to do, and I made it my goal to do it in 2025, and I've been trying to stay true to it. So I hope that you can support me. I appreciate you. Again, have a great day. Have a great week. And like I said, I'm going to do some other things. So stay tuned. Love you guys. Bye.